All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Rocco Johnson, your trainer coach for LR Johnson and Associates. Today we're going to be talking about your first 30 days as a new agent and how marketing is important instead of selling. It's probably really important from the very beginning of your career to understand exactly what it is that we do, right? And a lot of it has to do with positioning our mindset, changing how we think, and what we think this business is all about. Yes, it does. It does take some sales uh, knowledge and some expertise, but more importantly, I want to make sure that we understand the value of marketing, and we're going to talk about that today. I want to bring in our some of our members, and I'm going to have a one-on-one conversation with Agent Leela Wilson, and we're going to talk about her first 30 days and marketing in the business. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right. Let's pull Leela to the stage here. Let's see if I can pull her up. Hi, Leela.
Hi, Rocco. How are you?
Perfect. Perfect. Good to see you today.
Yes, same here. Same here.
All right. I know we've had a wonderful weekend. So this is being recorded live, and you had an opportunity to go and hang out with us just a little bit. And you haven't started yet, but we're getting ready to approach our first 30 days. So now we kind of got an idea of what it looks like. And a little prematurely, but we have to fit things in where it comes. You got a chance to do some event marketing
hmm
with us uh, as we went out. First of all, tell me a little bit about your experience the other night. Now, also fill in the blank and give some detail.
Okay. Well, going out the other night, being able to go and see my favorite musician and having a good time, being able to just be with like-minded individuals, to enjoy music, just sit, chat, and just be in the moment.
Well, was it different? I guess what I'm looking for now is it was it different than maybe what you expected when I said to you, I want you to focus on um, accumulating more contacts. How do you get leads? How do we meet people continuously? Your role was to not just go and have fun, but to observe.
Correct.
From the things that you observed, could you see how it's possible to meet someone every single day? It doesn't matter where you are.
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right. If I were in your shoes, I probably have some questions. And this is where we're going to answer the questions of, how do I convert those to financial service conversations, those introductions? How do I convert them, right? How do I get that conversation to um, an appointment, to a sale,
hmm
and into our network of what we want to discuss? Um, did that cross your mind anyway, shape, or form?
Yes, it did.
Okay. So if you have a question, we went out so that we could talk about the first 30 days. We went out to a jazz event for our lifestyle focused wealth group. Yes, we've created a social group of people and individuals who have already started taking advantage of insurance practices. Yes, we created our own community.
hmm
It's good to have a community of people that you can network with. When I started the business, I didn't have a community. I had to go out and find people. And what I find is sometimes we all start a new business and we don't have a community,
hmm
and we don't buy into a community. Sometimes that can be very difficult. So, creating our own community where I can invite, whether they're agents or prospects or potential clients, um, there's a lifestyle that we're focused on. There's money that we're focused on. There's collaborations that we're focused on. But it can be in a very fun way to meet new people. And it's a non intrusive way. There's no one being sold to. It's not a network marketing event. It is just a night out where you can break bread, have conversations, meaningful conversations, and new introductions to people that you want to meet. Okay.
Mhm.
So Leela was my guest, along with her husband, um, out that evening. Uh, I like hearing from your perspective. I know we talked a little bit offline.
Mhm.
Um, you had a marketing project that you were supposed to be doing, and
Correct.
what was that project prior to us going out?
For me to survey 10 people to just gather the information from off the fact finder. So I'm basically kind of interviewing, but at the same time, I'm practicing on how to obtain information from clients
Okay,
or prospects.
how has that gone for you the first week?
Well, it was a struggle in the beginning because I went back to work trying to talk to people. The way I went about it was a little, I should say I had a little speed bump because I just was just vomiting on people at first instead of just talking to people, even my old coworkers. I'm like, girl, I haven't seen you in so long. Let me tell you about this instead of just saying, hey, would you mind going through this with me? I'm trying to get some practice or whatever. I just was like, here, I want you to fill this out. Sit down, sit down, sit down. But I'm just learning in my day to day and get with your assistance and how to talk to people and how to not seem like I'm being pressing them for sales or trying to do anything, just trying to build that relationship. So this way it makes the conversation easier.
Okay, that's good. I like this type of training because a lot of times when we're in training, we're in a classroom environment. We don't get to talk back to our person. So I'm going to be asking you more dialogue and you talking back to me. That way I can see what's in your mind, how you're feeling. Because I'm telling you, as a new advisor, everybody's feeling that way. Um, but a lot of times you feel alone. The sooner we can get those, I call them mind cramps, out of our head, it
Mhm.
smooths things out, and then you kind of get a better expectation of what we're supposed to be looking for and doing, right?
Right.
So when you say you were vomiting on someone, we don't want to vomit on anyone. That's just not a good picture at all
Right.
on no one. But did you get to complete some of the task, a little
Yes.
bit of the task? Okay. So let's without saying a client name, let's just say client prospect number one. Let's go through a fact finder that you may have. Do you have one available?
No, but I can go get it right quick. I have it on my bed.
Okay. So while you do that, I'm going to put your camera on mute, and then and when you come back, we're going to talk about your fact finder.
Okay.
How about that?
All right.
And I'm going to keep talking while you're going. So go ahead. I got you. And so why is this important? The first 30 days, what we want to do is you want to have your list. Back in the days, you used to have a list of 100 people, right? Names, phone number, address, emails. And you want to contact these first 100 people to let them know that, hey, I'm starting a new career. I'm looking to um, enter the insurance and financial service world. And I would like to have a meeting with you to show you the type of work that we do. Right. So, what I've done is I've asked our new agents to move a step further than that. So, by this time, you should already have your list. And when you have your list, you should be willing to make those phone calls. And at the end of the day, phone calls are important. But the one thing that I think I made a mistake very early in my career is that I only focused on the phone call. We only have phone calls on Monday night. So I would call on Monday night alone. Um, but I would go the whole week and not call anybody. So that probably wasn't an effective use of my time. So what I've learned over that period of time is when I'm talking to a new advisor, I don't think I want you to do 100 phone calls. I want you to have contact with 100 people, because the old school is to pick up the phone. The new school is to text someone or go on Messenger and send a message to someone or go on social media just like we are right now and leave a voice message with your picture saying, hey, I would like to talk to you. Give me an opportunity to speak to you about your insurance and financial services. I plan to contact you soon. And if you're getting this message, you're already a friend of mine. These videos allow us to get in people's face much faster. So what's happening here? Are we selling or are we marketing? I'm going to bring Leela back into the screen here. So in those first 30 days, what I'm asking you to do is not focus on selling. I'm really trying to get that out of your mindset. I know that we got to close deals, but there is a much more calm, sophisticated way of this process being established. You want to establish yourself as an expert, someone who is not pushy, someone who's not trying to sell everything that they talk to. I enjoy being talked to like a person, and I think other people can appreciate that too. And they're looking for individuals to be around that can have their best interest at heart first. And that's really what I'm educating you on very early in the process, right?
Right.
Okay. So tell me about your lead that you have in your first interview that you done.
It's a single parent, young lady. She has one child, and she's struggling, financially, and she's just trying to find a way that she can have insurance coverage for herself and her child, and just be able to leave something for her child in case something happens.
Okay. So it's a single mom. How old is the child?
The child is 3.
3 years old. Okay. And she's working. What type of income does she make?
She makes $35,000.
$35,000. Great. So on page 1, without me going through it, just give me a rundown of what she has. We've asked a couple questions on the very front page. Did you ask those questions?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And when you asked those questions, did the conversation open up a little bit?
Yes.
More conversation? Okay. Dig into that just a little bit as we go through them. Not too long, but give me just a little dialogue as you go through the questions. What came from it?
Well, she felt that everything that I asked her at all of these questions were very important. Thinking about her health insurance, yes, she does have health insurance. She doesn't have it through her job. She has to buy it on her own. As far as the long term, as far as the nursing or home health, and thinking about her future, and as far as what she would need as she gets older, she felt that those things were very important for long term and all that stuff. And God forbid if anything happened to her on the job, she felt that that was very important also. So she wanted information on all of those things.
Okay, so she did want information on it. So what happened is you got a chance to talk to her about or ask her the question, hey, do you have life insurance? Do you have long-term care? Do you have a savings plan? Do you find it difficult saving money?
Yeah, her answer was yes.
And her answer was yes to all of those things. When you're in the driver's seat and you're controlling that conversation, what are you thinking in your head as an agent?
That I can assist her with that by giving her the information and explaining to her what it is.
Okay. When we got to her personal finance, and I know we didn't dive deep into her management yet, how were the next page, say page 2, you start to ask about her liabilities, right? So we have to know, hey, what do you have and what is your interest? So we've already qualified the fact that she has said, I'm interested in more information about insurance, life insurance, retirement, long-term care,
Mm-hmm.
even disability. So those are 4 items, maybe even 5 items that she's interested in learning more about.
Correct.
But you were there talking about life insurance, right?
Right.
Or were you talking about comprehensive coverage?
Ah. But Bob got it. Okay.
Got it?
So yes. Okay.
So the reason why I pose the question to you live online like this is because a lot of times when people first start, they're only focused on their entry point, meaning if they're just now starting insurance and life insurance is our primary product, they're thinking, I'm here to sell insurance. Why am I asking all these other questions? But those qualifying questions are also things that support a benefit package for that one person. I think for me, one of the biggest things is learning how to scale your business from the very beginning. So these marketing tools that I'm providing for you is not just for you to go out and sell the one product. It is to continuously start putting in the person's mind that they may be needing more than what your initial conversation was.
Mm-hmm.
And those gaps, it becomes like Swiss cheese. Now you got a gap, a hole in every place. You're like, well, how do I fill in the gap? Well, now we're a solution manager.
Mm-hmm.
We have enough information about you to go back and provide a solution to more than one issue at one time, right? And because you let them know that, hey, you're there to consult with them, you're there to discover this information. This is a discovery conversation. It's not even really an interview. It's there for us to discover what you need. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that enlightening to you?
Yes.
To help? Okay. So we may go back in the old days, we would go and we would offer the life insurance and you wait 6 months and you go back and offer the disability and then you drive all the way to, 2 hours to get to your next appointment. You don't have to do that these days. All you need is the information. And now your job is to go and package it. And then we can offer it. It's an offer. It's not a sale. You can't make anybody buy anything.
Correct.
Remember, she asked you for more information about these items.
Right.
So you always go back to your fact finder to say, I didn't bring you things that you weren't interested in. I brought you things that you were interested in. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, that right there will ultimately increase your volume because instead of you having one case, you potentially have 5 cases. And imagine if your goal is to do 10 new agreements every single month, now you got 5 opportunities with one person.
Right.
That you're going to do 10 times. Well, that would be 50 in 1 month.
That's great.
Okay. So that is where we are a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this won't be going out to the masses. This is for our team inside and internally of what we do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at page 2.
Page 2.
Page 2 is what are the liabilities?
Well, she only has $1,000 in her savings and only like $200 in her checking.
Okay.
She has no 401 or KEO or anything like that.
Okay.
She doesn't have an IRA. She doesn't own any stocks. She wanted literature on all of those things.
Okay.
She does not own any insurance. She doesn't have a spouse. She does not have any on her children, but she's interested in. She was interested in like a $500,000 policy.
Okay. So let's stop right there for a second. Okay. Does she own a house?
No.
Okay.
She owns nothing.
She owns nothing. How old is she?
She's 29.
29. I want to identify something that you're going to run into very early. And she tells you that she thinks she wants $500,000.
I meant to correct myself, for her children's education. If something were to happen, she wants to have at least 500,000 for her education.
Okay. Okay. So we got to think about that for a second. How many children she have?
Just one.
All right. So if that's an expensive education. So I don't know too many people have 500,000 of education, but 100,000, 200,000 maybe, close. Um, but now we have to think about the factoring. She's
9.
29. So we know that she's got a life ahead of her. So when we're interpreting what we're reading on this paper, some of the things for the agent needs to be that, okay, how do we interpret the why of what we're asking and how the information is received, and then what we got to get back, right?
Okay.
So if I'm thinking she's 28, 29 years old, her natural retirement is 67. So she's got some years.
Mm-hmm.
She's single. She's had a child. She's still young enough to have another child. She's probably going to have another relationship somewhere in the line of, between now and 67. So we start thinking about these factors where she's going to hopefully continue to upgrade her lifestyle, right?
Right.
So does insurance, is it cheaper at the beginning when you're younger, or is it more expensive?
In the beginning, hands down.
Okay. So would you say $500,000 gets you more today or less today?
Get you more today.
You think?
Yes.
So that was a trick question. I need you to think about something. If you had $500,000 and we go back 20 years ago when candy was 25 cents.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you.
Today, that same candy is $1.75.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Right.
I'm going to get more out of yesterday. So as an advisor, we got an opportunity here to share with our prospect that the value of money today is the most valuable. Money tomorrow is more expensive,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's probably not our best to assume that this person only needs 500,000.
Right.
Because tomorrow, 500,000, you're going to need $1 million. Right? Okay. If you think you need to make 6 figures to earn a job, you're probably going to have to make 250,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the truth of it. So you're having to think this way all the time for your client, because your client, they're not seeing it that way.
No.
They're not gonna see it that way, and your job really is to kind of drive that message home. Okay. So, how much money does she make a year?
35. I think it was 360. Yeah, 35, 360.
Okay. On your calculator, do you have a calculator somewhere on your screen, or?
Oh yeah, I can do it on my screen. Hopefully, it won't interrupt our meeting here. Okay, go ahead.
So let's go ahead and factor in what is a human life value for her. Human life value is a indicator showing a person what their value is currently over their lifespan or up until they retire.
Mm-hmm.
So you put the age 67 into your screen.
Okay.
And subtract it from her current age.
38.
So she has 38 years till retirement. And now what I'm going to ask you to do is multiply that times the salary she gave you, which was how much?
35, 360. $1,343,000. No, $1,343,680.
Would you please, on your fact finder, call that HLV, human life value,
Mm-hmm.
and then write that number down. And the next time you talk to her, when you come back with an illustration, the human life value is a number that she really needs, not 500,000.
Gotcha.
Because we're not replacing debt, we're replacing income.
Income, right?
One of the biggest mistakes I see advisors make, depending on what level of insurance they're selling, is they're just covering the debt.
Mm-hmm.
If a house is $200,000, they buy $200,000 of life insurance. Well, okay, so if I pay off the house but I don't have a job, how am I going to eat? How am I going to pay the taxes, the property taxes?
Mm-hmm.
I end up losing the house after I paid it off. It's property taxes, right?
Right.
So how's a kid going to go to college if I don't have enough? So these are the things that we need to be thinking about, is saying, all right, our opportunity here is to educate her on really and truly, don't allow her to tell you what to buy. We're going to educate you on why you should be buying X.
Mm-hmm.
One, you're younger, it's 29. 1.3 million is what you're worth today. When you elevate your income and your lifestyle, two things are going to happen. It's going to be tomorrow because it's not now. So you're going to be older.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's going to cost you more and you're going to be making more. So because you're older, the price of it's going to go up. And because you're making more, you're going to have to cover more. So it makes more sense to probably cover as much as you can now and fill in the gap based on your age. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she doesn't have a whole bunch of debt.
No, she just has a car insurance and a cell phone.
Great. So this is a person that we can start talking about money and principle, right? Lifestyle change, how to manage money and maybe even grow your own banking system, because the policy would be big enough for her to be able to do these things. And we can teach her very early how to leverage herself just by creating the illustration. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you've learned on the second page. The second page has more about liabilities. Did she have any other debts?
Credit card and student loan.
How much were they?
Credit card's about 1,000 and school's about 15,000.
Okay. So we know how to get out. We know how to get in debt, don't we?
Sure do.
She need no help with that.
Mm-mm.
What would you recommend a way to pay down that debt if you had the proper tools in place? What could you possibly recommend? What are you thinking when they show you debt?
To have a policy and to try to overfund your policy, or just have your money just go in there, and then eventually you'll be able to pay off your debt. Or put everything in your policy.
Okay. I like how you're thinking, and we're going to give it a little bit more clarity so that anybody we're training, we're thinking about what should the agent be thinking on their feet right then, right there, because it's happening in real time. Remember, time is the most valuable thing that we have. The more information that I know, the more I can learn, the faster I can respond. And then when I respond, I'm able to respond in such a way that's impactful right then. Something for them to think about, right? So if a person's paying, they're only making $39,000 a year. How much are they paying monthly on that credit card?
It's on the shelf collecting dust. She's not paying anything on it. Or the student loans.
The problem doesn't go away because you hide it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times with a younger person, this might not, to some people, they may say this is not the client for you. They want to go on to something else. Someone that's got more money and more wealth. I tend to say this is a great client for you to educate, because it's not that she's not valuable. She just doesn't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
When you can start having people face their fears, they realize that fear is really not something that they can't overcome.
Right.
But you're going to empower them with the information that can change the dynamic of that situation, the mindset,
hmm
the mindset. And for us, I think the very next part of it is just that, is understanding how the marketing mindset of this thing works. Because when we start focusing on the marketing mindset and saying, hey, what am I really marketing here? Now we're gonna do a shift of mindset, saying you're paying $200, $300 in credit cards, and you put them on your shelf and you're not paying them. What are you doing to your credit?
Destroying it
And why do we need credit?
because it helps you build
Okay, leverage.
leverage. Yes.
We want them to have opportunities for leverage. Can't get a house with bad credit. Can't get cars with bad credit. You can't get a business in most cases with bad credit. So we might as well start now facing the music, right?
Right.
It's the mindset that we're talking about in the discussion. Now we're looking at their liabilities. We're looking at their habits. We're looking at their ability to carry out a promise. And are they going to be the person that's going to pay you your premium, or are they going to be a person to stick you on the shelf?
hmm
If they're paying for credit card debt through $200 to $300 a month, maybe this is the person that could put that money into their insurance policy,
hmm
like you said, overfund if we design it in a way, and show them how to leverage the insurance to help them pay down those debts. And that's going to increase those scores. What you just done is taught her how to increase her credit score, gave her a little bit more information of how to continuously earn cash on the money that she was going to pay credit cards with
hmm
and student loans with. That's why I call it a mindset. Not selling the idea, I'm marketing the mindset, the lifestyle right now. That's a mindset that she doesn't even know at this point existed. Because if she did, it wouldn't be on the shelf, right? So let me ask you, who better than you to tell her the information?
Nobody. It'll be
No
me.
one. No
It will
one.
be me.
No one. So this is vital. This is really important, because now we're taking your person and they have their idea of what insurance is, and you're now going to have the pivot conversation. And that pivot conversation is nothing more than you talking about, wait a minute, you mean to tell me my lifestyle can change? You mean to tell me that I can put my money away into this financial tool that can help me pay down my debt? It can help me have dollars for my kids' college, because that's important to me. I have 38 years of accumulating potential dividends.
hmm
You see how I'm lining that up?
hmm
I'm slowly just sharing with her the benefit, still of the same financial tool, but as she's asking, or as we're asking these questions, there's things that we can't deny. We can't deny that we got bills. We can't deny we're paying interest rates. We can't deny that we want a better life, and we want to be able to leave things for our kids and our family and for ourselves. Great. Let's start with the number one structure of the financial tool. You don't need 500,000. You need 1.3 million.
hmm
Now, I'm not saying it needs to be all whole life or anything else. That part is a design situation. All we wanted to figure out is how much this person is valued right now.
Okay.
Okay. And now we have to educate her on the value. So in the pivot, now that we know that that person's in the value, now we got to pivot to why you need to have these plans designed a certain way, which is because you got these debts, because you're going to graduate, because you're going to get married, because you're going to buy a house. It probably makes sense for us to design something that can grow with you without you paying extra.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Which would be very, very, very beneficial to her.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be super expensive. A lot of these insurance policies that we design, they have a term conversion option. So a lot of the policies that we design will be a blended policy. You know, a percentage of it being whole life, a percentage of it being term life, and then with some LPUA or level paid up addition that will allow them to overfund the policy. The cash goes into the policy. But what it does is it also increases that death benefit. It increases their cash value both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
5, 10, 15 years down the road, when her income increases, when her lifestyle elevates a little bit more, she has the ability to convert a block of that term insurance that we put there up until age 65. She has an opportunity to convert it into whole life insurance without a medical exam.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be beneficial to her, right?
Right.
And you use that for many different purposes. For instance, that first conversion could be just the money to pay off a mortgage. The second one could just be the money to pay off that student loan. So it just depends on how we want to set this banking solution up in the questions. Am I helping you with that?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So what's the next questions at the bottom of that page?
It's just she doesn't have a spouse, she doesn't own a home, and she just has that credit card and student loan debt.
Okay.
And then, so she wants to have 100% of her coverage. I mean, it's of her income. She wants 100% of her percentage of her income. I asked her between 70 and 100. She said 100.
Okay.
And she'd like to provide that income for 20 years.
Okay. So she just told you what her income was, right?
Yes.
So what is her income over 20 years? We did it over 38 years. It's 1.3 million. She requested over 20 years. The real deal is that really enough?
No, 767,200.
So this is what she requested, but we're not going to come back with just what she requested. This is an opportunity to say, look, you shorted yourself almost $700,000 more dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I would like the opportunity to show you why you would want to do that, because it's probably going to cost you an extra $5 to $10 just to get it right. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. How am I doing with you thus far?
Good.
Okay. All right. So what's the so when you asked what the 100% was, that was the human life value question. We want to replace 100% of my income.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say 100% of my debt. It's 100% of my income.
Income, yeah.
Okay. So that's where I will go back down and put the HLV in that space. So I'm reminded that when I go and solve on the illustration system, I need to be able to put it for the amount of money that she's worth. And I'll let the insurance company tell us if they can't approve it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is where I like to say, you know, this is where another pivot. This is where a person needs to be discussing joining our lifestyle focused wealth community. Why? Because this part of it allows them to have access to someone like you for as low as $16 a month. Okay. And you're going to be able to spend more time with them because we are in a community
Mm-hmm.
of lifestyle focused individuals who focusing on wealth travel, food, having a good time. So what I'm doing with you right now is I'm taking you full circle of what you're seeing and what you may not have been seeing prior to. Give you an example. If you're only watching our Lifestyle Focus Wealth online, you hear me say this, you may think, I'm not interested in being a part of a club. Okay. But if we're doing marketing at events and I say to you, your favorite artist is in town, we have front row tickets. Would you like to come? What are you going to say?
Yes, indeed. I would love to come.
Okay. So now there's 10 other people of certain caliber that you're going to get to meet and greet and take pictures with. Did you get to do that?
Yes, I did.
Did you get to meet the artist?
I did.
You know, I don't know if we did any CD signings or things like that, but you had the opportunity. Did your husband have a good time?
Yes, he did. He enjoyed himself immensely.
Okay. So imagine if they're your client or prospect, they don't have to be your client, but they could be your prospect. If they were your guest to that event and they got to see you in that environment, how would you think they're going to feel?
Impressed. They're going to want to be included because they don't want to miss out.
I can almost guarantee you at 29 years old, if I were to go on their Facebook, their Instagram, their Snapchat, they're up there posing with some kind of lifestyle something, whether it be fashion, whether it be a travel, maybe a food item. They're posing on this thing about lifestyle. But as you've already said, this person doesn't have enough to really live off of, but they're posing a lifestyle. So suppose that you were the conduit to the lifestyle that they see themselves, envision themselves, but you also were that same conduit that put financial strategies and solutions in their head and in their mind and in their back pocket so that they can enjoy these things from a very young age. Now are you seeing what we're doing? We're marketing. We're not selling. At the end of the day, that person is going to say, I want that. I don't know what that is, but I like what you're doing. I want that. Well, a piece of that comes from the insurance piece. Okay. A piece of that is becoming part of our mentorship. Come into our focus so that we don't have to go chase you everywhere. Commit to becoming part of our Lifestyle Focus Wealth community. They have access to you, and because they got access to you, they got access to me. They got access to everybody. And we're not going to steer them wrong. We're going to keep them right in the pocket, right?
Right.
So I think that part is really important. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're going to encourage them to have their one-on-one session with you. They've already had the one-on-one. Now we got to give a answer to what we discovered. That one-on-one session is their path to lifestyle focused wealth. And that's when the offer is being offered. But we can only what's the words I'm looking for? We can only be responsible for our system. We're not Jake from State Farm. Let Jake do what he wants to do. That's not what we're in for. We can't make people unsick. We can't do that either. That's probably not the best client for us, unfortunately. However, we do have a system. And what I just did is I talked to you and we walked through the mindset, the pivot, the change, and then we're encouraging you want to be a part of a lifestyle. We want to be able to say we got a system. Now, our system, you'll be doing this soon. We don't have that up for you yet. Want to get past it. You have done this discovery agreement.
Mhm.
Now you need to be able to put that discovery information into a system, which is a CRM system, a customer relations marketing system, CRM. And our marketing system is pretty. We're in the new stages of a new development, and I can tell you, our marketing system is. I like to call it unique because it is a system that's going to be able to streamline what most advisors, most insurance people, most salespeople haven't been able to do. You'll be able to have all your main platforms, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, all going into your system. You'll be able to send out email posts. You'll be able to send out thank you cards. You'll be able to send out birthday letters. And put this on AI and automate it. That is a key because we're still saving time.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get it all set up, then it's customized for your business. You even have a schedule reminder so people can book appointments. It'll go right to your Calendly or different things like that. So it makes it very easy and accessible for you to have what you need, right?
Right.
Okay. You'll be able to do a video like this and send it back to the client because they can have access to it if they want one. You can send it and say, hey, this is our interview. This is what we discovered. So now it's not a he said, she said. We're right here online.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Right.
saying it. We're protecting ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing we don't want is people confusing what we said and what they heard. Their interpretation is a little different sometimes. You want to protect yourself at all times. Write it down. Create your CRM system. So if you ever had any legal challenges, you got to pull it from that documented place because it's going to say the time, it's going to say when, and you're going to be able to pull, copies from your PDFs from your system and show your client. But you also keep a paper file, a folder, a little folder, and keep that away for 5 years after they're no longer your client. So as long as they're your client, you need to keep the file, right? So in essence, I just walked you through pretty much everything that you would experience in your first meeting. You have any questions that maybe I didn't answer?
No, I'm loving this and the way you broke it down. I'm writing as we're speaking.
Okay. Does that take some of the pressure off of you of I gotta go make a sale?
Yes, especially in the beginning of our meeting when you were talking about we're not just selling insurance, we're doing comprehensive coverage. So that's, going from the first page and then going through, it's like, okay, well, yeah, you got different products that can assist the client at any time when they're ready for it.
That's correct. Now we just need to go see if we can go find it and put it and measure it down to a point where it can be affordable for the client, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we talked about having permission, and this is the end part for today. When you go through that fact finder and you interpret it the way that I just did, it is not a 15-minute conversation. It's really about 30-minute to 45-minute conversation.
Yes.
So when you go into it, you are not to be looking to close a deal right then. Your conversation needs to be to educate because people are lacking the education. They're reading it and they think they're getting what they think they're getting, but they're not getting what they need to be getting. They need some of the details that aren't being addressed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say if you've asked these questions and you've enlightened somebody to something they didn't know existed, have you earned the right, the word earn, to ask them for something in return?
Not yet until you build a relationship.
I think you've built a relationship. I think at that point the discovery is building the relationship. Listen to why I'm saying it. In this discovery, we discovered that your client has $1,000. We discovered that your client was going to make a mistake and buy $500,000 of insurance. We discovered that your client is paying credit cards and a student loan in a less than tax efficient way with no savings. We discovered that you really have a need for $1.3 million, almost $700,000 more than what you assumed you needed.
Right.
We've educated you on how we can design this plan to grow with you. We've designed a plan that you can grow cash value and the death benefit at the same time. Have I earned the right to ask you for 3 people or more that could be benefit from this conversation?
Yes.
Okay. In the world of social media today, it's almost so easy to say, can you do a testimonial today? Let's get on our StreamYard or whatever platform we're using. Can you sit here and say, give me a testimonial to your friends?
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw you take a picture of some food and you referred it to all your friends.
Right.
Was it good food?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You took pictures of this beautiful flower arrangement. But they can't smell it, but you took pictures of it. You sent it to all your friends. Is that valuable?
Yes.
It at least shows you went somewhere for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're talking about increasing and elevating your lifestyle financially. Wouldn't it be cool to send that to your friends? Look, this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. Make them believe.
That's right.
I want you to know that I'm joining this community, making them believe. I'm buying life insurance for me, my family. I'm getting my annuities. I'm getting my IRA rolled over. I'm getting my disability long-term care. And this is my agent, that lady right there. Right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If we can do it that way, that just takes away the sale. All I want you to do is market me to 3 to 4 people. But realistically, if we can get online, you can just send out a shout out to me on your social media. Here's my business card. Here's my digital one. Here's my real one. I just want roaring fans if I've helped you out a little bit. If I've given you some information that you didn't know existed. I mean, you went to college, you're paying a student debt. I bet you tell me what university you went to.
Mm-hmm.
Because you went there and learned something that you didn't learn from anywhere else. I just want you to talk about us. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
There's your close. We want to make this thing so simple that it isn't going to be rocket science. You ain't got to beat yourself all up. Mm-hmm. This is where you have already earned the right. But you got to do the work first. You got to make the contact. You got to get them in front of you. You got to share with them your experiences and get the discovery. And then while you're discovering, explain, educate from what you know. You'll get better and better as you go. Take your time. Breathe.
Mm-hmm. Don't bumble.
Not a car salesman.
Right.
For you as an advisor, we got about 4 minutes left. For you as an advisor, it's going to feel like you're going too fast. It's going to feel like you're knocking things out. I'm not trying to tell you to go and make it last 6-7 weeks. It shouldn't do that. What I am saying, though, but in this conversation, you are cementing the relationship now.
Mhm.
The only focus here is building the relationship, that I know enough about you to make and establish these things that I can provide a solution to. Stay on topic. Don't go all over the place. Okay? And once you do that, you want your client to be able to respect how you work. They will. They'll talk about you, Leela. They will. I promise you. And you'll start to see this thing grow. And when it starts to grow, you're going to need that system, that CRM system. Keep up.
Get everybody in.
When she gives you a name, I want to put my name, address, email, phone number in my CRM system. And I want it saying, hi, this is Leela. Hi, this is so-and-so. Are you invited to our event? Would you like to come? Are you part of our membership? You need to join. You need to this. You need that. It's a drip campaign. They don't have to do it every day.
Mhm.
They don't have to be yours right now, but eventually something is going to get to them. Something is going to give them the opportunity to talk to you. And when that happens, they don't want to be with anyone else. They want to be in your circle. And you just want to make sure you can stay in constant and consistent contact with them to keep them on top of your head and them on top of your head. All right?
Mhm. Okay.
So, well, that's my part for today. And hopefully that was helpful. Was that helpful?
Yes, very enlightening. I'm going to go over this and then I'll go to my others and work out the same system.
Tell me this. You have one final question before we wrap up.
No, I don't have a question. Not off the top of my head.
No interpretations off the discovery conversation.
No, Joe, just I guess just to solidify what you were saying as far as how much they make per year, and if they decide whatever percentage they want for how many years, but you want to base it off of how many years they have from 67 to how old they are, and then base their income from that, correct?
That's correct. That's the human life value. I'll be sending you an Excel spreadsheet that you could put the answers from your discovery into our system, and it's going to spit out a number also of what they call a needs analysis.
Mm-hmm.
The need is the absolute minimal need, but the human life value is the maximum need. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Well, with that being said, thank you for your time today. I'm going to put you on mute just a second. Hey, listen, for all you agents out there that are watching this video, hopefully it's been helpful to you. All I want you to do is remember that this is a marathon. You don't have to close it. You don't have to beat people up. Yes, it's one of the best businesses that you'll ever get into. And I have loved it over the last 26 years. But it's not how it was back in the day. I can tell you, if you want more information about becoming the best of the best, just see us down below, lrjohnsonassociates.com. Our phone number is 770-321-1337. And you can hit us up at info@lrj-associates.com. That's my time for today. I'm Ronco Johnson. You can find us at roncojohnson.com. And if you're an agent that's looking to expand your horizon and have a little bit more detailed training, hey, I'd like for you to join our Lifestyle Focus group of advisors who are learning to be an impact at a very high level right here. Thank you for your time. We will see you next time. And hopefully we can answer more questions for you and get you where you want to go. I'm Ronco Johnson. Have a good day.